to the Monday, August 25th, 2014 meeting of the Florissant City Council. Before we begin, if anyone would like to speak at the hearing for citizens portion of the meeting, you need to fill out a speaker card located on the table next to the entrance to the chambers. If you'll hand that to the city attorney, you'll pass it down to me. Number one on the agenda, Pledge of Allegiance. If you join with me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
Jones?
Present.
Egan?
Here.
Caputa?
Here.
Shildroth?
Here.
Hanky?
Here.
Pagano? Here. Schmidt? Hernandez? Lee?
Here.
Let the record show that a quorum is present. Item number 3 on the agenda, Mr. Lee moves for approval of the minutes of the August 11, 2014 meeting. Seconded by Mr. Caputa. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Number 4, hearing from citizens. Hearing from citizens portion. And please make note that this is not a question and answer period. This is the opportunity for the citizens to address the council for 3 minutes on any item that they would like. Patrice Davis, can I get to you a minute, Mr. Engelmeyer?
Sure.
You're third in line. Patrice Davis, please.
There were 2 other cards.
Yes. Patrice Davis. Ms. Davis, for the record, will you state your name and your address, please? Thank you.
Patrice Davis.
And you have to speak up real
Okay.
loud, ma'am. You can actually hold that in your hand if
All
you
right.
need to.
Patrice Davis, P.O. Box 2288, Florissant, Missouri, 63033.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Well, I came here, I've been coming off and on ever since 2012, and I came back kind of like steady in October last year, and since I've been here, I have seen a need. People that out in the weather, you know, don't have enough to eat, and when it rains them up and they're cold and everything. So I want to be able to help the community as much as I can. I've always had a desire to help people. So I just wanted to let you all know that if you all let me, I can get many more signatures if you'll let me, and I can work with the community to try to help open up a place, and if I get some money, I can help pay down on one for them to sleep at night, because I feel like they will get back up on their feet if they have a warm place to sleep and they can think mentally the next day, and they can say, well, I'm going to go down to Steak and Shake and see can I get a application and get me a job, and then they start working. I've seen this happen downtown. So out here is where the need is too. So that's all I wanted to, you know, let you know tonight.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Davis.
Thank you too.
Paul Manganelli. Please state your name and your address for the record, please.
I am Paul Manganelli, 505 Paul Avenue. I just wanted to take this time to thank the city. We had our 4th food truck event last Friday night. It's our 3rd one with the co-sponsorship of the city, and I think it was, it's up the heat. It was a fantastic evening. The city providing the tables, the band shell really did make for a really good evening, and I, again, just want to thank the city for that. I also want to say, too, that we have a Facebook page for the food truck nights, and we've, starting yesterday, we're starting a campaign to promote the brick and mortar restaurants of Florissant. I know that these sometimes can cut into their business, so we're going to try and, you know, now that we've brought the people in to Florissant with these events, we want them to get them back into Florissant and dine in one of our brick and mortar restaurants. So I wanted just to let everybody know, you know, what we're up to. And again, thanks for all your help. It really has made the events extra special.
Very good. Thank you, Paul. John Engelmeyer, you state your name and address for the record, please.
John Engelmeyer, 1281 Graham Road, Florissant. I come before the City Council due to the very fact that few of you have taken time to acknowledge my emails. So I'm taking this moment, 3 minutes, for a citizen's request. I've asked for a definition of professional services and received no response. So once again, under the Freedom of Information Act, if I need to invoke that, I respectfully request a citizen's definition of professional services and be specific and not a general statement. Last year, during this time, a council member introduced a motion and was passed to limit citizens' input on the budget to 15 minutes. I would like to again acknowledge that and request that be done again, because if not, I will be here before the Budget Committee and make my statement perfectly clear on what I think the budget ought to look like. I want to participate in this year's budget presentation. I will not adjust general administrative costs, but to review the extraordinary expenses, that is, golf course expenditures. I would appreciate that the public be given a chance to comment at your work sessions concerning any proposal by any department or presenter appearing before the City Council. I asked and made a comment to all of you about service organization, a community service project date, and I understand that one of the council members, former council members, did in fact do that in his particular ward. This year, in the budget, I'd like to see tree limb shredding program, spring and fall, a leaf pickup service for the fall for the entire city, a bulk trash pickup disposal for spring and fall for the entire city. In October of each year, that first Saturday in October, is had that community service work day. I'd like for the City Council to pass an ordinance similar to a, what do you want to call it, a gesture to open that. In fact, if my neighbor's grass is tall and I can cut it, I should be able to cut it without any ramifications. According to my attorney, I can't touch that property. So I think that's a good Samaritan law, and I think that City Council could pass something like that to exonerate me to help my neighbor or my property in terms of my community or my street. I'd like to have the hardware stores to participate in a service day to help promote that. Also, I sent an email out to the entire City Council. The financial monthly revenue expense reports are not online for June and July, May, June, I think it's June and July. And I did notify everyone that, and I haven't heard a thing. I was on the website again last week and it was not there again. So what a disservice to me is just trying to review the budget. Maybe I'm the only one, but the power of one has a significant importance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Engelmeyer. Next item on the agenda, communications, and I see none. Next item on the agenda, public hearings, and we have none this evening. Item number 7, old business. Second readings, Bill 9019. I'll entertain a motion for a second reading on 9019. Seeing none, the bill dies for lack of second. Bill number 9020. I'll entertain a motion for a second reading on Bill 9020. Seeing none, the bill dies for lack of second. Bill 9022. Mr. Shildrop makes a motion for a second reading, seconded by Mr. Hinkie. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance authorizing a special use permit to Fat Boys Barbecue, LLC, DBA Fat Boys, to allow for the operation of a carry-out restaurant for the property located at 300 St. Ferdinand.
Mr. Shildroff moves for a third meeting, seconded again by Mr. Hinkie. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Clerk?
Ordinance authorizing a special use permit to Fat Boys Barbecue, LLC, DBA Fat Boys, to allow for the operation of a carry-out restaurant for the property located at 300 St. Ferdinand.
Prior to a final vote being taken on this issue, is there anyone in the audience that would like to make comment? Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Absolutely. John Engelmeyer, 1281 Graham Road, Florissant. Considering the fact that I live in a commercial district area and I get no participation by the city in working with my neighbors picking up trash, I want to make sure that everyone's aware that this agency, this company, is located in a residential area, and that I would like to see them actually endorse or put in the ordinance or your bill that they monitor and pick up their trash around their property and to maintain that property.
Thank you. Seeing no other comments, clerk, please poll the council.
Jones?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes?
Caputa? Yes. Shildroth? Yes. Hanky?
Yes.
Pagano? Schmidt? Hernandez? Lee?
Bill 9022 passes and becomes ordinance 8068. New business, board appointments. Ms. Pagano.
Yes, I would like to appoint John Martine to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
That motion is made by Mr. Caputa, seconded by Mr. Jones. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Schmidt.
Yes, I'd like to appoint Elizabeth Bowling to P&Z effective September 1.
Motion is made by Ms. Pagano, seconded by Mr. Shildroth. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the motion carries. And I would like to appoint Mr. Jim Hessel to the Board of Adjustments, pending his resignation from the Planning and Zoning Commission. I'm sorry? Relative September 1st to the Board of Adjustment. That motion is made by Mr. Caputa and seconded by Mr. Hanky. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Bills for first reading. I'm sorry. You got one more? I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Mr. Schmidt?
I'd like to appoint Debbie Bryant of 1775 Arundel to the Citizens Participation Committee.
A motion is made by Mr. Hernandez, seconded by Ms. Pagano. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing no other board appointments, we'll move on. Bills for first reading. Bill 9023.
Ordinance authorizing a transfer of $1,500 from account number 5062300, postage and printing, to account number 5063200, office supplies for additional printer supplies for the golf course.
Bill 9024.
Ordinance approving the Community Development Block Grant CDBG budget for the 2014 fiscal year for the City of Florissant.
All right, Mr. Shildroth moves for a second reading on that, seconded by myself. Any discussion? All in favor of second reading? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Clerk, read the bill a second time, please.
Ordinance approving the Community Development Block Grant budget for the 2014 fiscal year for the City of Florissant.
Mr. Schmidt moves for a third reading on this bill, seconded by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? Poll the council, please. Oh, stand by 1 second, please. Mr. Lee.
All right, thank you. I just want to say I had the opportunity to attend a public hearing and wanted to pass along that the department that handles this, Carol O'Mara's department and staff, they do an outstanding job. The money seems like it's getting smaller every year that I've been on the council, and the amount of work that they have to go through to put together the applications and so on and so forth. And we're being, I think, recertified is the word this year, and they just really do an outstanding job for getting that money. Most of that money goes to our home improvement program, and it's just really a good thing. But Mayor, just thank the staff for all their work they do putting that in. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Clerk, will you now poll the council for a third reading?
Jones? Yes. Egan?
Yes.
Caputa? Yes. Shildroth?
Yes.
Hanky?
Yes.
Pagano? Yes. Schmidt? Yes. Hernandez? Yes. Lee?
Motion carries. Clerk, please.
I can read it and then you can.
Right. Go ahead and read the bill, please.
Ordinance approving the Community Development Block Grant budget for the 2014 fiscal year for the City of Florissant.
Thank you. Prior to a final vote being taken on this issue, is there anyone in the audience who would like to make comment? Mr. Engelmeyer, please state your name and your address for the record, please.
1281 Graham Road, Florissant. In reference to Mr. Lee's comment, I want to thank Carol Mayer. She did an outstanding job in the presentation. her staff. It was absolutely outstanding, very informative. We had 4 individuals from Washington University here monitoring the program, and really it was very enlightening to listen to their comments, particularly in light of all the issues that are concerning North County. But I thank Carol. She did an outstanding job. And like I said, thank you, Mr. Lee, for your comment. I didn't know you were going to make a comment, but I was prepared. But thank you very much. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you. Clerk, go ahead and seeing no other comments, please poll the council for the final approval.
Jones?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes?
Caputa?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
Hanky?
Yes.
Pagano? Schmidt? Hernandez? Lee?
Bill 9024 passes and becomes ordinance 8069. Bill 9025.
Ordinance amending Chapter 100-090, Schedule of Court Costs, subsection A, by adding a new section 11 to allow for the collection of $10 fee to be used for land assemblage, purchase, construction, maintenance, and upkeep of a municipal courthouse.
I will move for a second reading, seconded by Mr. Henke. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Ordinance amending Chapter 100-090, Schedule of Court Costs, subsection A, by adding a new subsection 11 to allow for the collection of a $10 fee to be used for land assemblage and purchase, construction, maintenance, and upkeep of the municipal courthouse.
I will move for a third reading, seconded by Ms. Pagano. Roll call vote?
Jones?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes?
Caputa?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
Hanky?
Yes.
Pagano? Schmidt? Hernandez? Lee?
Clerk, please read the bill.
Ordinance amending Chapter 100-090, Schedule of Court Costs, subsection A, by adding a new subsection 11 to allow for the collection of a $10 fee to be used for land assemblage and purchase, construction, maintenance, and upkeep of a municipal courthouse.
Prior to a final vote being taken on this issue, is there anyone in the audience that would like to make comment? Seeing none, clerk, please poll the council.
Jones?
Yes.
Egan?
Yes?
Caputa?
Yes.
Shildroth?
Yes.
Hanky?
Yes.
Pagano? Schmidt? Hernandez? Lee?
Bill number 9025 passes and becomes ordinance 8070. Bill 9026.
Ordinance amending amending Section 505060 International Plumbing Code of the Municipal Code of Florissant by deleting subsection B6, Section 605 Materials, Joints, and Connections to allow for the use of plastic water supply piping.
Next item on the agenda, council announcements. Mr. Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I'd just like to make a comment out there about the heat, that so all the people that is very accessible to this heat, make sure you drink lots of fluids. It's very warm out there, and so make sure you watch yourselves. It's dangerously hot out there. Had a few of my kids today at school fell out because of the heat, and so it's dangerously hot out there. Thank you.
Thank you. On September 29th, the Florissant Police Welfare Association will host their annual golf tournament at the Golf Club of Florissant. If you're interested in playing in the tournament or in being a sponsor, please call Captain Randy Bowden at the Florissant Police Department, 831-7000. On Saturday, September 6th, the Responder Rescue will have their annual charity soft sand volleyball tournament. This is a tournament that was actually started in the city of Florissant and has moved. This year will be held in Wentzville, Missouri. If you're interested in getting a team or sponsoring, please call Officer Steve Myers at the police department, 831-7000. And finally, this is the first time I've announced this one. On October 25th, there will be a 5K race to the shrine to be held in Old Town. And if you're interested in sponsoring it or running that race, you can look it up online, racetotheshrine.com, or contact me. Mayor Schneider.
Thank you, Mr. President. Pleased to announce that Culver's will be breaking ground on September 4th at the intersection of St. Ferdinand and North Highway 67. This was the #1 requested new restaurant that we had since I've been elected, and we're glad that we're able to get this restaurant open. We'll also be probably notified of another opening with a restaurant called Sweetie Pies, which is also going to be locating very soon in the city of Florissant. This is kind of a long way off, but we did receive grants for 3 transportation improvement projects. These projects are not going to start tomorrow. The first one is scheduled for construction in 2017. This is a replacement of the St. Anthony Lane Bridge over Fountain Creek. Design work will start in 2015. And the North Lafayette Street reconstruction is scheduled for 2018. It's going to resurface the road to provide a smoother ride. It'll include storm sewers and curb and gutter to improve drainage. That will start design work in 2016. And another one, the replacement of the pedestrian signal at Robinwood Elementary. That's design is going to start in 2016 with the completion scheduled for 2018. But we're glad to be the recipient of those grants. Congratulations to our city engineer, Tim Barrett, for an excellent job. And also congratulations to Tim Barrett for being selected as one of the 30 leaders in their 30s to be recognized by North County Incorporated. We recognize former City Council member and State Rep Dave Reynolds with a plaque in our walkthrough history earlier this month on August 12th. And we're going to be recognizing former council member Mr. North County, Don Bond, on Wednesday night out this week. And then on September 2nd, we'll be honoring bowling great Dick Weber. His son and fellow bowling great Pete Weber will be in attendance, as well as other members of the Weber family, and also people in the bowling community will be here in Florissant to honor Mr. Weber on September 2nd. And then on September 24th, we will be honoring the second female to be honored in our Walk of Fame. Charlotte Ballard was the sole owner of Ballard Plumbing after her husband Lawrence died. She was the first woman in Missouri to hold a master plumber's license. And she was a charter member of the Florissant Valley Historical Society and the Florissant Old Town Partners, president of Florissant Valley Shelter Workshop, founding member of Friends of Old St. Ferdinand. She was a Seroptimus member, team volunteer, and it was said that no matter how busy, she always made time to help others and did these kindnesses quietly touching many lives, and her example of community service will always inspire us. And another inspirational person of our community had a birthday party last week. Rosemary Davison celebrated her 96th birthday. On hand was Rance Thomas and Tucker Conan and Mary Kay Gladback. And we had a nice little party out at St. Pat's Apartments. And also Rose Verdig was there also. Rosemary is going to be leaving Florissant. She has had a long run here. She has made a lot of differences. She has preserved a lot of buildings, a lot of our heritage. She was one of the freeholders, and she's going to be very missed. She's going to be moving to Arizona to live with her brother, and we hope that she comes back to visit us. Tomorrow we're going to get a visit from Archbishop Jordan of Reims, France, to Old St. Ferdinand Shrine. The public is invited to attend. They're going to have a benediction there let's see, at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow at the shrine. And I think that's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Your Honor. The next meeting of the Florissant City Council will be September 8th, 2014, and we will be starting at a new time. We'll be starting at 7:30 p.m. So make note that the next meeting will not start until 7:30 p.m. on September the 8th, 2014. Mr. Hernandez moves to adjourn, seconded by Mr. Lee. All in favor? Aye, and opposed? The council will stand adjourned.